Oh, sugar, dun 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 dun. Oh, honey, honey, dun 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 dun. Do you remember that song back from the late 60s or maybe the early 70s? Um, you might have heard that song. It's from the Archies. You might have also heard that sugar is 8 times more addictive than cocaine. 8 times. Holy cow. It makes me wonder why we don't hear more about murders in the city streets over people who tried to rob somebody of bonbons or candy bars or some such thing. Um, if you're like me and you like sugar, I would love for you to go in the comments below and just say what your favorite sugary treat is. I like caramel a lot. I like donuts and ice cream. Those are sugary treats that tend to tempt me. But this thing about sugar being more addictive than cocaine actually came from a study that they did with rats. And when the rats chose sugar over cocaine in an 8-to-1 ratio, that's how they came up with that statement. But what does that mean for us? Well, what I'm about to share with you is just, it's incredible, and it could be life-changing when you hear it and understand it, and I'll explain that to you in the next couple of minutes. So what that means for us is that sugar in its natural state as it grows in the cane is not highly addictive, but when it becomes extensively refined, then it is more addictive. So we're talking about the white sugar that you open up in a bag that you're going to make cookies with at home, or the sugar that you find in most of the processed foods that's been added. Those are extremely refined sugars. And what that does when you consume that sugar is it causes dopamine to be released in your brain. It means that when sugar is refined, you get a bigger bang for your buck in terms of the dopamine release than you would from sugar in its natural form. It's like it's concentrated. And thank you so much for watching my video tonight. I wanted to offer to you a freemium, and the freemium I have available tonight is a low sugar food plan and grocery list, and it's also accompanied by a 30-day free opportunity to stream workouts online. And if that's something that you're interested in or you'd like to take a look at, go ahead and comment below. When this video is over, I'll go back and follow those comments for about 48 hours. And after that, you can message me anytime about that. But after the 48 hours, I probably won't be going back to see comments, so you'd want to be sure and message me after that if you're watching and wanted to see that. So sugar addiction has been thoroughly proven in testing with animals. But in humans, it's not quite so easy to diagnose, but there are some psychological signs that you could look for if you're curious about whether you're addicted to sugar or actually any substance. And one of them is binging. Another one is a desire to quit using the substance, craving the substance. If that substance is affecting or interfering with your everyday life, if you continue to use it despite seeing negative consequences, those are all signs of addiction. And those are the psychological signs. Now, there are also physiological signs of addiction, primarily tolerance and withdrawal. So tolerance just simply means that your body requires more and more of it to get the same level of satisfaction or pleasure that you've had in the past. And withdrawal means that when you stop using it, you would see some side effects, so to speak. Maybe anxiety or lightheadedness, possibly fatigue, mood swings, headaches. Some people even get the shakes. So you can actually look at the brain scans of people who have used cocaine, and when you compare those to the brain scans of people who have OD'd on sugar, very, very similar results. You can actually overdose on sugar without even knowing it. So how does that work? Well, 80% of the items that we see in our grocery store in terms of processed food have added sugar, particularly the low-fat products, because when a manufacturer removes the fat from a product, they're looking for a way to make that taste more pleasant. They're going to add sugar most of the time. You might be consuming sugar without even realizing it. When you look at the ingredients lists, sugar can be disguised as high fructose corn syrup, or it might be called dehydrated cane juice, honey, barley malt, fruit juice, as innocent as that sounds, sorghum syrup, caramel. Oh, if you prefer salted caramel. Those are all forms of sugar. So how can you tell whether you're dependent on sugar or not? Go without it for a little bit. See if you experience some of those side effects: anxiety, lightheadedness, fatigue, headaches, mood swings, shakes. I recommend that if you're going to try and go without sugar for a short period, that you have some pain reliever on hand. Nobody wants a headache, and if you're trying to reduce the amount of sugar that you're having and you make a substantial change like that, it's likely to occur. The second thing I would recommend if you're trying to reduce the amount of sugar in your diet is to have some accountability, because it's way too easy to slip back into the habit if you don't have any accountability. I do run online accountability groups, and I'd be happy to show you how to connect with that. If you want to comment below, or if you want to message me to find out some more about that, I can fill you in. And I also recommend that you have a plan to fight against temptation. Have a plan for what you will do to distract yourself when you're trying to reduce the amount of sugar intake that you normally have, and what you will do when you face the temptation to have some, because we can reasonably anticipate that you're going to desire some when you've decided to reduce the amount you're used to having. Don't say, well, if I start to crave a candy bar, I'm going to run 10 miles. That's absurd. Nobody's going to do that. Find something reasonable that would work for you that you could plug in. In my case, I like sugar-free gum. I'll have dessert gums to satisfy a sweet craving. Maybe for you it would be flavored water, or maybe you'd have an apple or a pear, something that has a little bit of sweetness to it but a very satisfying chew as a go-to when you face that craving. Deciding in advance is key. If you're having more sugar than your body needs, it's going to turn that sugar into fat. And you'll start gaining weight, and you may end up with diabetes, and wow, we don't want those things to happen. There's a whole host of things that goes with obesity when you're putting on extra weight from too much sugar. Heart disease, high blood pressure. We don't want you to go there. So I hope that you're enjoying this information, and as you might know if you've been watching my videos, is that I usually do my free gift in the beginning. So if you're just now joining the broadcast, I would love for you to go back to the beginning and watch again so you can take advantage of the freemium that I've offered early on in the video. I will be creating more live videos, and I'm wondering what's going to be helpful to you. So if you would go to the comments below and just tell me what kind of topics will be helpful for you to hear about. As I do future videos, I do go back and check those, and I'll be watching for about the next 48 hours what comes and goes in the comments. So thank you so much for doing that. I am on the horizon of launching 3 new rounds of challengers in my accountability groups. It's not the next 3 Mondays. It's the 26th of December and the 2nd of January, also the 9th of January. I'll be launching new rounds for challengers, people that want to work on their fitness, and I'd be happy to work with you. Comment below if you want information on that, or message me. But the groups are going to be focused on reducing sugar, and I promise you, I'm not going to ask you to survive on a leaf of lettuce every day. It's about finding out what's going to be a step in the right direction for you, and how fast do you want to make those changes. Because if it's not a change that'll work for you to commit to, it's not going to work for your life. So we have all kinds of flexibility there, and my specialty really is in personalizing a plan that will bring you to the results that you desire. So rest assured that I'm not just going to hand you some canned thing and go, you have to do this. We're going to find out what will fit your life. But the groups are focused, the focus for the next few rounds is primarily on reducing sugar, increasing protein and vegetables in your food plan. What I found to be really successful for a lot of people is a 3-day refresh. And I can tell you that when I personally used the 3-day refresh, I was astounded at how quickly I stopped craving the things that I normally would want to pursue in terms of sugar, cookies and donuts and sweet snacks like that. The thank you so much for listening tonight, and I can't wait to read your comments below and to receive your messages so that I can help you get started. So thanks for watching.